you know who the dumbest character in Demon Slayer is? What about who's the tallest, the oldest, or what about the most beautiful? Well, today I'll go over every single record holder in Demon Slayer. So, let's get started with the record holder for the absolute dumbest character in the series. And yeah, that's easily Inosuke. And honestly, it's not even really his fault. I mean, he was literally raised by boars. Yup, seriously. He straight up lived with the boars in the mountains, so he's basically got the brain of a boar. Like we see when he literally tries to fight a train, or when he just stopped thinking mid-fight because he seriously just didn't like how he started strategizing during the battle. Or how about when he tried to fight Giyu even though he was super injured. Oh, and we obviously gotta mention when the father spider demon ran away to heal, but Inosuke thought he was scared of him, so he started laughing, which just let the demon recover and come back to almost kill him. But the dumbest thing of all, Inosuke just can't get Tanjiro's name right. Seriously, he says Kenpachiro, Manchiro, or even Kamaboko Ganpachiro. That's not even close. So yeah, Inosuke's the dumbest, but who's the smartest? Well, I know a lot of you thought about Muzan. And yeah, he's smart, but his PTSD of getting killed makes him way dumber than he is. Like, why didn't he let Doma go to the Swordsmith village? Or why did he go alone to the Abushiki mansion when he could have just taken the Upper Moons with him? Yeah, he's done a lot of just weird, stupid stuff. So instead, let's talk about Kaguya. Because Kaguya has an ability that's straight up OP. Foresight. Yeah, he can basically see the future with his instincts. Like, he can make insanely accurate predictions that turn out to be true, like how he knew Muzan's true weakness was the sun and that decapitation wouldn't kill him. Or that Muzan would eventually come for him and start the final war between demon slayers and demons, telling Gyome that Muzan would arrive in just 5 days. So even though there's a lot of smart characters in the series, Kaguya and his foresight has to take the crown as the absolute smartest. But talking about smarts and IQ, let's talk battle IQ. And most of you guys thought about Tanjiro, right? I mean, we literally see him in episode 1 almost kill the Water Hashira by using his insane battle IQ to trick him. Or when he tricked Gyutaro by disguising the scent of the wisteria-laced kunai with an incense bag in order to land a surprise attack on him, which seriously almost killed him as well. He even figured out how Akaza's compass worked. So yeah, Tanjiro's got some crazy battle IQ. But honestly, Tengen's battle IQ is even better. And that's all thanks to his musical score technique. Yeah, using his insane hearing together with both his ridiculous battle IQ and his sound breathing, Tengen literally reads his opponent's movements like sheet music. So once he's got their rhythm down, he completely breaks them apart, reading his opponent's habits, tactics, and their blind spots. Like, he almost took down Jutaro by himself, even after losing a hand and being seriously poisoned. Plus, let's not forget he's a former shinobi, meaning he's got years of experience making split-second calls. Like when he literally stopped his own heart to fake his death just to fool Gyutaro, which gave him enough time to complete his insane musical score technique. But okay, enough about brains, let's instead talk about looks. Specifically, the most beautiful woman in the series. Some of you will probably say Mitsuri, some of you might say Shinobu, or maybe even one of Tengen's wives. But nope. The most beautiful woman in the series is Ume. Before she became the demon we all know as Daki, Ume was known throughout the entire entertainment district for her ridiculous beauty. Yet both men and women would literally stop just to look at her incredibly beautiful face. And if she smiled, she would literally be given things. And after she started working in one of the entertainment district's high-class brothels, she made a fortune by just showing up, as her looks alone were enough to attract crowds of customers. So, we know who the most beautiful woman is, but what about the most beautiful man? And come on, you already know who it is. Inosuke. Yep, as soon as that boar mask comes off, boom, you literally get shocked by his incredibly pretty face. Like, people literally mistake him for a girl. Although, yeah, he's got an insanely ripped body. Anyway, even Daki said he's got a very beautiful face, which is why she wanted to capture him and eat him, as Daki literally only wants to eat people she thinks are exceptionally beautiful. So, I guess that's a compliment. And don't forget when the madam of the Ogamoto house bumped into Inosuke, disguised as Inoko, and instantly took him in, as she thought he was literally gorgeous. So, although you probably shouldn't tell Inosuke that he's beautiful, he's gotta be the most beautiful man in the series. Now, who's the tallest in the series? That title goes to none other than Gyome. This guy's literally a giant, standing at a massive 220 centimeters, or if you're using freedom units, that's about 7 feet 2.5 inches. So just imagine being a demon and running into this huge muscly beast. One swing of his spiked flail and axe, and boom, you're gone. Moving on from the tallest character to one of the shortest characters. The record holder for the shortest Hashira goes to Shinobu, as she's just 151 centimeters tall. That's 4 feet 11 and a half inches. Plus, she only weighs 37 kilograms, that's 82 pounds. So yeah, she's tiny. And because of that, she can't even cut off a demon's head as she's just too weak. However, she's still OP. Like, she can take out just about any demon with her poison. And even though I said she's got weak arms, her thrusting and stabbing power is insane. Like, we literally saw her pierce a boulder in half. But talking about height, we also gotta talk about age. And the oldest character in the entire series is, of course, Muzan. Even though he looks like a 19-year-old since he became a demon at 19, he's actually over 1,000 years old. Yeah, over 1,000 years ago, Muzan was just a regular human suffering from a terminal illness, but after taking this experimental medicine, he transformed into a demon. And although he became insanely strong and it cured his terminal illness, sunlight became his weakness. So from that moment, Muzan became obsessed with finding a way to conquer the sun and walk in the sunlight. Because even with all that power, he saw himself as imperfect. And that obsession would literally consume him for the next 1,000 years. Now, staying with the oldest characters, we've got the oldest Hashira, and that's Gyomei. Gyomei is 27 years old, and he's actually been a Hashira for 8 years. But here's the crazy part. Before becoming a Hashira, Gyomei was locked up and about to be executed for supposedly killing 7 kids. But that wasn't the truth at all. What really happened was that a demon attacked, and while 6 kids sadly didn't make it, Gyomei fought with everything he had and managed to save at least 1, which eventually led Kaguya to see his strength, free him from his charges, and make him a Hashira. Anyway, we've got the oldest Hashira, so what about the youngest Hashira? Well, that's Muchiro Tokuto. And get this, he's only 14 years old. But even though he's only 14, he's insanely strong. Like, he's literally known as a prodigy, and Rengoku even said he was way stronger than he was at 14. Plus, it only took Michiru 2 months after picking up a sword to become a full-on Hashira. Like, even Tengen was completely shocked by Michiru's skills. Now let's literally pick up the pace and talk about who the fastest character is. And yeah, that title easily goes to Zenitsu. With his thunder breathing and his signature move, First Form Thunderclap and Flash, Zenitsu can decapitate demons faster than they can even react. His speed is just unreal, and when you think he can't possibly get faster, he cranks it up with his Godspeed attack when he fights Daki in the Entertainment District. And then, when he fights Kaigaku, he becomes even faster, using his very own 7th form God of Fire and Thunder, dashing so insanely fast that Kaigaku doesn't even realize what hit him, while Zenitsu sliced him down in a flash of lightning shaped like a freaking dragon. So okay, Zenitsu's the fastest, but that's thanks to his breathing style. So who's the fastest if it's just running speed? Well, then it's obviously Tengen. Yeah, this guy's speed is just ridiculous. We've seen him straight up vanish the moment he takes off, leaving Tanjiro and the others literally shocked by his incredible speed. Like, they don't have a chance of catching up to him. So Tengen's running speed is on a whole other level. But instead of the fastest, let's talk about the slowest. And I think a lot of you guys will be shocked at this one, because the slowest character, that's Mitsuri. Yep. You see, when the Hashira had a race, she came dead last. Sure, we've all seen her running, and she looks pretty fast, right? But here's the thing, we all also know how much she loves food. Like, she just eats so ridiculously much food. So when the Hashira had their race, it literally looked like she had just eaten. And as she's literally always stuffing her face, she just can't be running, and that's why she ends up as the slowest. Moving on, let's talk about who's the most loved character by the others in the series. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking of Rengoku, right? And yeah, no one has a bad word to say about this guy. He's just always happy, respectful, and just radiates positivity. The Junior Chords members literally admire him. He's just that inspiring and charming. Plus, he's also an insanely strong demon slayer, so he's not only loved, but he's also respected by literally everyone around him. Still, someone who's even more loved than Rengoku is Mitsuri. She's literally a ray of sunshine. She's always smiling, always cheerful, and her energy is so contagious that just looking at her makes you smile too. On top of that, she's super easy to talk to, as she'll listen, cheer you up, and just brighten your whole day without even trying. That's why all the Hashira absolutely adore her, and nobody's got a bad word to say as they all genuinely care about her. But talking about the most loved character, we've got to talk about the most hated. And I know you're thinking I'm gonna pick Doma, right? I mean, yeah, he's this super scary and insanely powerful demon who's killed countless of people and is just straight up evil. But honestly, there's not a lot of people who even know Doma exists. So instead, the most hated character, that's Giyu Tomioka. I'm serious. Giyu is this cold, distant guy, and he doesn't exactly make friends easily. So the other Hashira don't vibe with him at all. Like both Sanemi and Obanai absolutely hate him, as they think he's super arrogant. Shinobu even told him straight to his face that everyone hates him, although these two at least are on pretty good terms. But if that wasn't enough, he got even more hated when he broke the Demon Slayer Corp's code by risking his own life to protect Tanjiro and Nezuko, as Nezuko is literally a demon. Now, let's continue by talking about the strongest characters in the series, and let's start with the strongest ever human, and that human is obviously Gyomei. Unlike the other demon slayers who use swords to fight, Gyomei rocks a spiked flail and axe, and with his insane strength, he just swings them around and straight up makes demons explode. On top of being this huge guy, he's also a master of stone breathing, creating insanely powerful rock-solid attacks that are both super strong offensively and defensively. Combine that with his monstrous power, and Gyomei's stone-breathing forms are basically just demon-shattering moves. So Gyomei's the strongest human, but what about the strongest ever demon? Well, we all already know it's Muzan since he's literally the Demon King. But if we can't pick Muzan, the record holder for the strongest demon goes to Kukushibo. This terrifying demon with 6 eyes is a master swordsman, and he's been perfecting his skills for almost 500 years. Add in his insane demon strength, and you've got one of the deadliest swordsmen to ever exist. Like he straight up clapped Akaza like it was nothing, and we all know how strong this guy is. And don't forget, Kokushibo got moon breathing. So combine that with his blood demon art, and Kokushibo can unleash dozens of crescent-shaped blades from his flesh katana. Like, these things are wild, completely unpredictable, constantly changing direction and speed, making his attacks almost impossible to read. On top of that, he's got extrasensory perception, letting him sense people way outside normal range. And he's also got this terrifying aura that literally made Akaza shake. So yeah, if we can't choose Muzan, Kokushibo is obviously the strongest demon. Anyway, let's move on to the character who is hands down the most evil of them all. And honestly, we've got some very twisted and evil characters, like Doma. This completely emotionless guy is the leader of the Eternal Paradise Faith, a cult where people literally worship him like a god, only for him to eat them. Yeah, he eats all of his followers, and he's been doing this for decades. And as we can see, Doma clearly enjoys inflicting pain and violence onto others. However, Doma is actually not the most evil. Instead, let's talk about Muzan. Because Muzan is literally the reason demons exist in the first place, as he created them, and every single horrible thing they've done tracks back to him. He'll also kill humans without hesitation, like when he wiped out Tanjiro's entire family. And he doesn't care how many humans or demons have to die for him to reach his goals. The difference between Doma, though, is that Muzan actually doesn't seem to revel in the pain he causes. So wait, did I actually pick Doma as the most evil? Nope, because that character is Gyoko. I mean, he literally makes art out of people. Yeah, he's sadistic to the core, giving his victims a fate way worse than death. He's literally just an insane monster who's pure evil. Like, he kills anyone without hesitation and absolutely loves it. But enough evil talk. Instead, let's talk about the most good character. And this one is obvious, right? It's of course Tanjiro. Like, this is literally his soul. Yeah, his heart is just so pure, warm, and gentle. And we've seen time and time again just how kind and compassionate he is. People even describe him as naturally kind, with gentle eyes and a soft aura that makes you feel safe around him. And even though Tanjiro's fought against so many demons who've killed tons of humans, he still shows them kindness in death. Like when he held the hand demon's hand, or when he stopped Yutaro and Daki from arguing so they wouldn't die hating each other. And don't forget when he used 5th form Blessed Rain after the drought on the Mother Spider Demon, a sword strike that ends a life without pain. So yeah, Tanjiro is absolutely the most good character in the series. But some other records that need to be mentioned are most popular character, and that's actually Zenitsu. Yep, I'm shocked too. You see, Japan did a massive popularity poll at the end of the manga, and Zenitsu actually won it with a massive 17,451 votes. And in second place, we've got Giyu with 13,281 votes. That's over 4,000 less than Zenitsu. Talking about the most popular character, next we've got the least popular character, and that's actually Murata. Yeah, I'm once again shocked. He literally only got 342 votes, which is wild. Because come on, Murata is the strongest and most badass demon slayer ever. And if he came up against Muzan, he would probably just blitz him. Now, for strongest arm wrestler, and some might say Tengen, some might even say Tanjiro, since we all know how ridiculously strong this guy is. But the record holder for the strongest arm wrestler, that's Guillaume. Honestly, I don't even need to explain this one, right? He's massive and built like a tank, so of course he's gonna crush anyone in arm wrestling. The author of Demon Slayer even ranked all the Hashira by arm wrestling strength. And Guillaume took the number 1 spot as insanely strong, with Tengen coming in second as just really strong. Moving on to biggest eavesdropper, and that's easily Guillaume. Like, come on, we literally see this huge guy trying to hide behind a tree while listening in on Tanjiro and Genya's convo. And it doesn't stop there. Guillaume even said Tsunami liked Kanai, probably because he was out there spying on them too, peeking from behind the trees. And last but not least, let's talk about the most annoying character in the entire series. And that's easily Zenitsu. I know some people say it's realistic for someone to be scared of literal demons, but come on, his constant screaming is just so annoying. He's literally yelling, crying, or whining at least once every single episode, and he's just so loud. On top of being super annoying, he's also a huge womanizer. Like the very first time Tanjiro officially meets him, Zenitsu's out here harassing this poor girl, begging her to marry him. So yeah, between the non-stop screaming and the desperate flirting, Zenitsu easily takes the record for most annoying. Anyway, what is your favorite Demon Slayer record? And was there a record I forgot to mention? Let me know in the comments below.